Good morning. Welcome to News for Hearing Impaired. I'm Anil Thomas. With me, Manisha, this morning. First up, the headlines. West Bengal government agrees to cooperate with centre on the visit of Inter-Ministerial team to take stock of the lockdown. The move comes a day after strong directive by Home Ministry following reports of non-cooperation with the central teams. ICMR advises states not to use new rapid antibody tests for COVID-19 for 2 days after reports of variations in results. Says if there is some fault in the batch, we will ask the company to replace the kits. No new COVID-19 case reported from 61 districts in the last 14 days. With 3,259 patients fully cured, recovery rate climbs to 17.48%. Total active cases stand at 15,122 in the country. In global news, cases of COVID-19 infection nears 25 lakhs. United States continues to be the worst affected country with the death toll climbing to 45,000. And United States suspends green cards for entry in the country for 60 days. President Trump says the decision will apply only to those seeking permanent residence in United States. And now for the stories in detail. West Bengal has finally agreed to cooperate with the centre on the visit of interministerial teams. West Bengal's Chief Secretary has written to the Home Ministry and assured that they will follow the order under the Disaster Management Act and directions of the Supreme Court.
पश्चिम बंगाल के मुख्य सचिव ने आज शाम को पत्र लिखकर गृह मंत्रालय को बताया है कि उन्होंने टीम्स के साथ संपर्क किया है, बैठक की है और उनका ऑन द स्पॉट आंकलन में सहयोग दे रहे हैं। उन्होंने आश्वासन दिया है कि वे आपदा प्रबंधन अधिनियम के तहत पारित आदेश एवं माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के निर्देशों का पालन करेंगे। गृह मंत्रालय पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार के निर्णय का स्वागत करता है।
Earlier, in a letter to the West Bengal Chief Secretary, Union Home Secretary had strongly objected to the reports of non-cooperation with the central interministerial teams that visited West Bengal and also asked the state government to cooperate. Meanwhile, the two central teams are expected to start their work in the state following the assurance of the state government. The centre has constituted 6 interministerial central teams, 2 each for West Bengal and Maharashtra and 1 each for Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. These teams are making on-the-spot assessment of the situation and issuing necessary directions to state authorities. They are to also submit reports to the central government. The situation is especially serious in Indore, Mumbai, Pune, Jaipur, Kolkata, Howrah, Mednipur East, 24 Parganas North, Darjeeling, Kalimpong and Jalpaiguri in West Bengal. The teams will focus on complaints related to implementation of lockdown measures, supply of essential commodities, social distancing, preparedness of health infrastructure, safety of health professionals and conditions of the relief camps for labour and poor people. The number of active cases of COVID-19 in the country has now reached 15,122. The number of those who have recovered and have been discharged has gone up to 3,259. there have been 603 deaths and 1 migration, bringing the total to 18,985. While Maharashtra has reported 4,669 cases so far, Delhi and Gujarat have reported more than 2,000 cases till now. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh have reported more than 1,000 cases so far. Centre is taking several steps along with the states and union territories for the prevention, containment and management of COVID-19. These are being regularly reviewed and monitored at the highest level. The Empowered Committee 4, which is entrusted with augmenting human resources and capacity building, has developed the COVID Warriors Dashboard, which contains data for 20 categories human resources, including MBBS doctors, Ayush doctors, nurses, frontline workers. At present, there is data for more than 1.24 crore human resources on the dashboard, and it is continuously being updated with additions of new groups and subgroups as per specialization. 4 districts, Mahe, Kodagu, Pauri Garhwal and Pratapgarh, have not reported any fresh cases during the last 28 days. There are now 61 additional districts from 23 states and union territories that have not reported any fresh cases during the last 14 days. 4 new districts have been included in the list: Latur, Osmanabad, Hingoli and Washim from Maharashtra. ICMR advised all states not to use the new rapid antibody test for COVID-19 for 2 days as variations were reported in investigation. It has said that it will investigate the issue of faulty kits. Dr. Harshvardhan, the Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, has written to the health departments of all states, union territories to ensure adequate availability of blood in blood banks. Ministry of Home Affairs has further expanded the list of exempted items from coronavirus lockdown. According to a new order from the ministry, facility for import and export such as pack houses, inspections and treatment facilities for seeds and horticulture produce, research establishments dealing with agriculture and horticulture activities, and inter and intrastate movement of planting materials and beekeeping related materials are exempted from lockdown measures. Shops selling educational books for students and electric fans are also given relaxation from lockdown measures. Further, sign-off and sign-on of Indian seafarers at Indian ports and their movement for this purpose as per the standard operating protocol is also given exemption. Goa Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant welcomed the SOP issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs for disembarking of seafarers at Indian ports. He hoped that Goans stranded on the high seas will now be home soon. Further, it clarified that
जो ऑर्डर निकाला, स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर फॉर द साइन ऑन एंड साइन ऑफ द इंडियन सीफेरर्स एट इंडियन पोर्ट्स एंड देयर मूवमेंट फॉर द ऑफिसर पर्पस, जब मैं उनका स्वागत करता हूं, मैं सभी गोवा के लोगों की तरफ से माननीय पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी जी का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं। मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ शिपिंग से जो साइन ऑफ और साइन इन करना है वो कल से स्टार्ट होगा और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ शिपिंग से इसके लिए टीजी शिपिंग से और एक प्रोटोकॉल आने वाला है, कौन सी शिप कौन से इंडियन पोर्ट पे लगेगी, कौन सी शिप कहाँ पे लगेगी और उनके मूवमेंट किस तरह से होगा, इसके लिए सेपरेट एसओपी आने वाली है कल। तो उस एसओपी से देख के बाकी प्रोटोकॉल यहाँ पे निश्चित किया जाएगा।
Further, it clarified that bedside attendants and caregivers of senior citizens residing in their homes under social sector, recharge facilities for prepaid mobile connection under public utilities and food processing units in urban areas under supply of essential goods are included in the exempted services and activities from lockdown measures. Uttar Pradesh government has ordered for complete sealing of Delhi-Noida border till further orders as a precautionary measure to contain the spread of COVID-19 infection in Gautam Budh Nagar district. The order issued by the district magistrate Gautam Budh Nagar states that the decision is based on the observation made by the health department of the district. Citing reference of the new cases of COVID-19 infection in the district and the high volume of traffic movement between Delhi and Noida, the health department recommended for sealing the borders. However, relaxation in commuting has been given to government officials directly involved in handling the COVID-19 related services with valid pass issued by authorized officials. Apart from them, movement of transport vehicles, ambulance services, specialist doctors serving in Noida-based hospitals shall be allowed. Central government officers above the rank of Deputy Secretary with identity card issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs and media personnel with valid pass issued from the Office of Additional Commissioner of Police or District Information Officer, Gautam Budh Nagar, shall be allowed to commute. Keeping in mind the convenience of media personnel working in Noida, the old system of accepting ID cards shall be in place till the 22nd of April. This relaxation is valid for media personnel only. Union Minister for Minority Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has said that secularism and harmony is not political fashion but is perfect passion for India and Indians, adding that this inclusive culture and commitment has united the country with fabric of unity in diversity. Interacting with the media, Naqvi said that constitutional, social and religious rights of all the citizens, including the minorities, is India's constitutional and moral guarantee. He added that traditional and professional bogus bashing brigades are still active in conspiracy to spread misinformation and all should remain cautious of such evil forces. He said that people should remain cautious of any type of fake news and conspiracies aimed at creating misinformation.
जी हमेशा 130 करोड़ हिंदुस्तानियों के हितों की बात करते हैं। 130 करोड़ लोगों की आंखों में खुशी और उनकी जिंदगी में खुशहाली आए, इसके लिए बात करते हैं। अगर ये किसी को नहीं दिख रहा है तो ये उनकी अपनी समस्या है। हिंदुस्तान का मुसलमान, हिंदुस्तान का अल्पसंख्यक, हिंदुस्तान के समाज का सभी वर्ग खुश है और वो उस खुशहाली के साथ अपनी जिंदगी को आगे बढ़ा रहा है और जो लोग इस तरह के माहौल को खराब करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं वो किसी भी तौर से हिंदुस्तान के मुसलमानों के दोस्त नहीं हो सकते।
Naqvi said all the Muslim religious leaders, imams, religious and social organizations and the Muslim community have jointly decided to offer prayers and perform other religious rituals during the holy month of Ramadan, which will start from April 24th, staying inside their homes. He said that more than 30 state waqf boards have started working on the strategy to ensure strict and honest implementation of lockdown, curfew and social distancing during the holy month of Ramadan with the coordination and cooperation of all the Muslim religious leaders, imams, religious and social organizations, the Muslim community and local administration too.
24 अप्रैल से रमजान का पवित्र महीना शुरू होने जा रहा है और देश के सभी धार्मिक धर्मगुरु, उलमा, धार्मिक संगठन, सामाजिक संगठन ने एकजुट होकर के देश निर्णय किया है और अपील की है मुस्लिम समाज से कि रमज़ान के इस पवित्र महीने में हम इबादत, इफ्तार, तरावी या और भी जो रमज़ान के महीने के हमारे धार्मिक कर्तव्य हैं उनको हम अपने घरों पर ही सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का ध्यान रख करके उन कर्तव्यों को पूरा करें।
The government of India will be conducting a telephonic survey calling up citizens on their mobile phones across the country. The calls will be coming into mobile phones from the calling number 1921. People are informed that the call will be coming into mobile phones from the calling number 1921. People are informed that it is a genuine survey and are requested to participate in good measure when a call comes in from 1921 to enable proper feedback of the prevalence and distribution of COVID symptoms. The NHRC has sent a notice to the Maharashtra Police Chief in connection with the lynching of 3 persons in Palghar district of the state. The National Human Rights Commission has called for a detailed report in 4 weeks, including inputs of the action taken against the culprits and relief, if any, granted to the next of kin of the deceased. Based on a complaint in connection with the incident, a notice has been issued to the Maharashtra Director General of Police over the mob lynching of 3 persons in the presence of police personnel in Palghar district on April 16th. The Commission has observed that the incident is apparently indicative of negligence by the public servants. The NHRC has termed the death of the 3 persons in such a cruel manner by the unruly mob, that too during the ongoing countrywide lockdown under extra vigil by the administration and police, as a gross violation of the right to the life of the victims. Total number of COVID cases has crossed 25.6 lakhs globally, while the death toll has crossed 1.76 lakhs. US, Spain and Italy remain the countries with the most number of reported cases. Meanwhile, the US Senate on Tuesday unanimously passed legislation providing nearly $500 billion in additional federal aid to help small businesses hurt by the coronavirus pandemic and to aid hospitals dealing with large number of seriously ill patients. The bill, which is supported by the White House, now goes to the House of Representatives, where it could be voted upon as soon as Thursday. President Trump on Tuesday welcomed the agreement reached between Republican and Democratic lawmakers to provide more coronavirus relief funding for small businesses and others. Meanwhile, President Trump has said his plan to ban immigration into the US will last for 60 days and will apply to only those seeking permanent residence. President Trump said that while he'll be issuing a temporary suspension of immigration into the United States, and the measures will be in effect for 60 days and then be reevaluated. Trump administration will be examining the additional immigration related measures to protect American workers. Moving on, about 1,950 inmates and nearly 155 staff at an Ohio prison have tested positive for COVID-19. The number would take the outbreak at the Marion Correctional Institution in Marion among the largest COVID-19 hotspots in the United States. Nearly 80% of the prison's roughly 2,500 inmates have been affected by the virus. The Marion Star reported 1 guard and 1 inmate have died from the virus. Spain, meanwhile, has approved an extension of the country's lockdown to May 9th, but eased some limits on children from April 27th. Children under the age of 14 will be able to accompany an adult during essential tasks such as shopping in supermarkets or pharmacies. But they will still not be able to play freely with their friends for some time. Spain's spokeswoman Maria Jesus Montero said that the government was working on a guide that would outline permitted activities, although she alluded to the common sense and responsibility of parents. Spain is the second country in the world with the most cases of COVID-19 after the United States and has imposed one of the strictest lockdown measures in Europe. The British Parliament resumed on Tuesday from an extended Easter break in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, allowing lawmakers to scrutinize ministers as criticism grows of government handling of the global crisis. Few lawmakers were in attendance as Britain's Parliament reconvened as members of Parliament seek to adhere to the social distancing measures. Senior government ministers Jacob Rees-Mogg formally proposed a part virtual hybrid parliament to be introduced temporarily as Britain continues to combat the spread of COVID-19. The new arrangements, approved without a formal vote, will be in place until May 12th. The House of Commons Parliament elected lower chamber will sit on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesdays, with the first 2 hours taken up by questions to governments, ministers and ministerial statements. Mexico has entered what the government calls phase 3 of the spread of the new COVID-19, the most serious stage as transmission of the virus is intensifying. Mexico has extended government restrictions to contain the COVID-19 until May 30th. Government plans to begin easing up restrictions from June 1st onwards if the current measures are successful. In recent weeks, concerns have mounted about the spread of the highly contagious virus through deportation proceedings. At least 15 migrants from several countries who have tested positive for COVID-19 have been placed in isolation at a northern Mexico shelter. The authorities say that a man carrying the virus and deported from Houston had infected most of the others. Meanwhile, hundreds of factory workers in Zurez protested to call on assembly plants to close to prevent the spread of COVID-19 after area residents died last week. At least 4 workers at a U.S. company factory in the Mexican border towns died last week. Companies and workers said apparently they are linked to cases of COVID-19. Many of Mexico's border factories are disobeying orders to suspend operations, causing concern among the employees. Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has extended a partial lockdown until the 1st of June in wake of a sharp rise in COVID-19 cases. The city has seen a sharp jump in cases in recent weeks, fueled by infections in cramped migrant worker dormitories, many of which are under government-ordered quarantine. The city-state reported more than 9,125 cases after a record jump of over 1,400 cases. Lee said the extended lockdown period would help bring community cases down decisively and make sure infections in migrant dormitories do not spread into the wider community. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has declared that the country is on the road to recovery with the new coronavirus infections almost stamped out. He has said hospitals will resume many elective surgeries and schools will be reopened for more children. Australia had banned all non-emergency surgeries to free up hospital beds in March amid expectations of a surge in coronavirus cases. Schools were also closed. But with infection rates falling from more than 25% in mid-March to the current levels of less than 1% a day, Morrison said on Tuesday that Australia could relax some restrictions from next week. Meanwhile, the authorities have secured more protective and medical equipment, including a full capacity of 7,500 ventilators. Australia has recorded 6,547 cases of coronavirus and 67 deaths. A nun in Lima is doing her bit to fight the spread of COVID-19 in Peru by jumping on a tractor to disinfect the streets of the capital. Nun Rebecca Frick took a farm tractor to fumigate and disinfect streets, working with locals and health officials to keep residential areas free of COVID-19. Frick drives her tractor around Lima's Mora district, an area of the capital that has not yet reported coronavirus cases. Peru has confirmed over 17,800 COVID-19 cases and more than 480 deaths have been reported from the country. In Britain, a 99-year-old British war veteran Captain Tom Moore, who had raced more than 20 $8.77 million for health service by walking laps of his garden, opened a new field hospital on Tuesday. Moore praised the National Health Service or the NHS workers via video link at the opening of the new Nightingale Hospital in Harrogate, Northern England, which is being set up to help deal with the coronavirus outbreak. Well, that's all we have time for, but remember, stay safe, stay indoors and be positive. Bye-bye.